If someone's watching this right now and they're like, wow, I really need to take my fitness more seriously. And I'm sure you get people that write you all the time. I don't know where to start. Maybe they're 20, maybe they're 30. Where do you usually start people off? Do you start them on a certain program? Do you always want to ask them what's important for them? Or what are some basics that you think anybody should master?
Is this somebody who's just hasn't been doing anything?
Yeah, maybe that, or they haven't been doing anything for a while.
Yeah, I think it's important. It is important to determine what their goals are. Okay. I think it's important to understand what is it you're trying to achieve, and you can even just break it down to the aesthetic side of it at first. And
there's nothing wrong with wanting that, right?
No, as I said, it's so normal. Even to the guys at the top level of their performance, they're still looking for that. So, are you looking to build muscle? Are you looking to just burn fat? Do you care if you build some muscle while you're in pursuit of losing fat? Like, those are some basic questions just to find out. Do you have any health issues that you're trying to prevent? Do you have any concurrent health issues that might prevent you from? If you say, I want to get as strong as I possibly can, but I've got a lumbar fusion, 3 levels deep, that is, really makes it difficult for me to bend over without discomfort or tingling down my legs. Like, those aren't really goals that necessarily go together. Yeah. So I would have to understand what their limitations might be as well, so I can sort of work with them to maybe adapt that plan just slightly, so that they can get the benefits it is they're seeking without undermining the rest of their body that necessarily isn't going to help them or play along with that goal. So there's a few just basic ideas I think that you want to make sure you get the bases that you get covered, so that you can start to create a plan based around that. And then you also want to start asking them. I ask all the guys that I train with, and these are athletes too. I'll say, how many days a week are you looking to train? Because if I go write this wonderful program that's like 6 days a week, like, you don't understand. We travel this day, we travel that day, I'm on an airplane. Like, they may not have the time. So that wonderful program is worth shit because they can't do it. So even the best plan unable to be followed is not worth a damn. So I want to find out what their schedule is, and not just like the I prefer schedule. I'm saying like I can't schedule. Like, I can't train on these days because I'm not here, or I have to be in a certain situation, or a place all day that doesn't allow me to train. So I think those are considerations also that you need to.
When you look at, like, not fads, but cycles of training, like CrossFit and powerlifting and P90X and all these different things, yoga and all those things, what do you see in all of those things? Do you see sometimes there's benefits here, or do you just see that humans like fads and we like the latest thing and device?
I think if there weren't benefits to them, I don't think they would have become fads. I think there's always a benefit there. I mean, CrossFit's a good example. So people think I hate CrossFit. I don't. Like, first of all, I admire their community. Like, their ability to create community is amazing. They have created an enthusiasm for training that we haven't seen in a long period of time, and I love that. And I love the competition, and I love the support that they provide each other. They're, like anything else, are sometimes good coaches and bad coaches, though. And I think what happened with CrossFit was it provided a financial opportunity for people to get involved in fitness, to open a box, and all of a sudden be expected to be experts. It goes back to the original thing we talked about. The CrossFit boxes were basically the embodiment of Instagram, in a real world, where people are like, I'm gonna show off my box and I'm gonna have people come. Well, if you're a bad coach, just like you could be a bad influencer on Instagram, like, it doesn't mean that just because you own a box that your information you're disseminating in that box is good. It could be, bad. And based on the type of stuff that CrossFitters will do, a lot of which is Olympic lifting or powerlifting, I have a great, great respect for the Olympic lifts. Like, those are technical lifts that require so much practice and repetition. I remember I met a police officer in my local neighborhood who recognized me from Athlete X and stuff, and he's like, oh, hey, and I wasn't in trouble, by the way. We were on good terms here. He came to my house, and he said to me, he was like, I said, what do you do, man? He was huge. He's like, I do Olympic lifting. I was like, when do you do it? How many times a week? He's like, well, I usually I'll spend 3 hours, 3 times a week. He goes, and then the other days I'm doing my base training. He's spending 3 hours on his Olympic lifting. Like, he'll do 1 repetition of a snatch, and then he'll wait 5 minutes, and he'll come back, another repetition of the snatch, and he'll wait 5, and he'll record himself. And he's like, the technicality there is so high. when you think that there are CrossFit gyms where mothers are coming in because they know they're supposed to do something, and they're being told to snatch a bar overhead. I don't care if it's a dowel or not. And it's impossible for the form to be good, real good, that soon. And I know the loads are being accommodated to her, but the environment, the excitement, someone else hit a PR, so she wants to throw a couple more plates on the bar, and she's snatched and everything looks ugly. And the fact that she sort of completed the rep is enough for people to cheer for her. And the same thing could be happening to men here too. That all of a sudden, where do you think all the injuries come from? Like it's just exercises, good exercises performed poorly in a charged up environment that leads to disaster. So does it mean that CrossFit's no good? No, it doesn't mean that CrossFit's no good. I think combining the elements that they do in gymnastics and conditioning, they're some of the best conditioned athletes in the world. But you're talking about like the top level competitors. There's a lot of people doing it at a level that is, getting them hurt because they don't have the skill set or the time or the commitment or the years put in to make them really good at it.